Following the Chicago Med Season 10 finale, everyone was wondering who the father of Hannah Asher's baby was, and thankfully, the Season 11 premiere didn't waste any time providing viewers with a concrete answer. The identity of the man in question isn't all that surprising. However, the knowledge that there were 3, not 2, candidates in the running for this role is. Chicago Med Season 10 ended with Asher knocking on Dean Archer's door, telling him that they needed to talk. Many assumed this meant he was the father of her unborn child. Asher's ex-boyfriend, Mitch Ripley, was still an option, though, given the series never gave the audience a definitive answer. Meanwhile, the writers were contemplating adding a third contender to the mix. Archer is the father of Asher's baby. Asher tells Archer the news in the Chicago Med Season 11 premiere. Jesse Schramm as Hannah Asher and Steven Weber as Dean Archer in Chicago Med Season 11 premiere. NBC. Those who guessed that Archer was the father of Asher's baby in Chicago Med, even though we never saw them hook up, were correct. The Season 11 premiere opens with Asher inside Archer's house, moments after she knocked on his door. She cuts to the chase and informs him that she's pregnant and that he's the father, much to his surprise. The two Chicago Med characters then confirm that they slept together at the end of Season 10, Episode 17, when Asher visited Archer. They seemingly drank too much, and one thing led to another. Now, Asher is pregnant, and she makes it clear what her plan is for the baby in the Chicago Med Season 11 premiere. Asher reveals that she plans on keeping the baby, but she doesn't expect anything from Archer. She knows that, at his age, he might not want another child. As such, Asher is evidently trying to let Archer off the hook, if he wants to be. However, Archer is ready to co-parent with Asher, as the two won't pursue a romantic relationship. The Chicago Med writers almost picked Halstead to be the father. Halstead was the secret third candidate in the running. Will Halstead from Chicago Med? All this time, we thought the only characters who could be the father of Asher's baby were Archer and Ripley. After the Chicago Med Season 11 premiere, though, Variety learned that the writers almost went in a completely different direction by bringing in a third party. When discussing why Chicago Med picked Archer to be the dad, showrunner Alan McDonald revealed, as some may recall, Halstead and Asher dated a few seasons ago but separated on amicable terms. They remained friends up until Halstead left Chicago Med in Season 8. He resigned from Gaffney Chicago Medical Center and moved to Seattle to reconnect with his other ex-girlfriend, Natalie Manning, and her son, Owen, during the Season 8 finale. Given that it has been more than 2 seasons since Halstead moved out of Chicago, it would have been quite surprising to learn that he was the father of Asher's baby in Chicago Med Season 11. As far as the audience knows, Halstead has been on the West Coast since he parted ways with Gaffney. So, thankfully, the writers stuck with that narrative. Asher and Halstead reconnecting would have been a horrible decision. The former Chicago Med couple can't reunite. Jesse Schramm as Hannah Asher, Nick Gelfus as Will Halstead in Chicago Med Season 11, Episode 2. NBC. It would have been a huge mistake if the writers made Halstead the father of Asher's baby in Chicago Fire Season 11. For starters, the original main character already had a great send-off back in Season 8, which included him reuniting with his soulmate. Since the beginning of the NBC medical drama show, it has been clear that Halstead and Manning belong together. Bringing Halstead back to Chicago to get his ex-girlfriend pregnant would have felt like the writers adding unnecessary drama to the series. It also just wouldn't have made sense. The last time we saw Halstead, he was quite happy with Manning. If they were to break up off-screen, resulting in him reconnecting with Asher, again, off-screen, viewers would have every right to feel cheated. Chicago Med Season 11's hypothetical reveal that Halstead is the father of Asher's baby certainly would have been a major plot twist. However, it'd be unsuccessful because it was simply created for shock value. Only the best plot twists are ones that surprise the audience but still make sense. So, picking Halstead instead of Archer would have been a disappointing, colossal mistake. What to expect from Halstead's return in Chicago Med Season 11? Nick Gelfus is reprising his original Chicago Med role. Nick Gelfus as Will Halstead in Chicago Med Season 11, Episode 2. NBC. The good news is that Nick Gelfus is reprising his role as Halstead in Chicago Med Season 11, but his return has nothing to do with Asher's pregnancy. Instead, Halstead arrives in town in Episode 2, which is also the show's 200th episode, to take Owen to a Bears game. As for how he reunites with his former colleagues, fans must watch to learn more. Gelfus' character is expected to appear in a few episodes in Season 11. It's still unclear what makes him stick around Gaffney, though, rather than head back to Seattle with Owen. Nevertheless, it will be great to see Halstead back, especially since Maggie Lockwood has been absent in Chicago Med Season 11, and it's unknown when she will return.